game. This that CSZ game. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55, what's goody? Kill the vibe, how could it? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. The mother shows spread fake news. We just call them broadcast. West, Joey, Sam, Sean, Dalton. And you know that boy Higgy. He said he don't want no small fries. Tell them they better make them biggie. Yeah, you already know what we be on. We got the crown, we hold the throne. We throw the mails and you take them home. When they ring the bells, you know that it's home. The bar set, we setting the tone. If we set it, then set it in stone. Sit in the street, set up your phone. You in the Cardinal sports zone.
Family, what is up? Welcome to another live edition of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Unless y'all listen to it later on the platforms, the Buzzsprout, the iTunes, whatever. For those of you all that are live with us, like Chris, TJ, Uncle Larry, Steve, appreciate y'all on YouTube. We got Sean, Babu, the Unk, Cardinal, Brian McGlasson, Gregory Anthony, and Uncle Larry again. Welcome.
Man, if what's his name? Honky, what is it?
Man, Average Honky.
If Average Honky doesn't show up today, I'm gonna be a little upset.
Listen, there's Master Yoda who needs to be in the house at all times. Rito, Average Honky,
Uncle Larry.
And
well,
then,
all of you guys that are in here right now too, but
sure.
Just like it's hilarious to me, the name Average Honky.
Every time I read it, I giggle a little bit. Fabian, obviously, Fabian.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody that's on here right now, I'm not saying anything, but like, and even
Allie Jack's a really good.
Michelle, she needs to be in here.
Michelle, yeah, Michelle, yeah.
Isn't that her name?
Yeah, it's Michelle. I'm sorry. Look. It's been a long day. Coming to you live from the Fitness Market Studios North. This is the Cardinal Sports Zone Podcast, award-winning CSZ Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Wahman, and we're coming to you on our Thursday show. Now, after the football season, we'll go back down to just having one show a week. Unless y'all want to get together and hang out during the week, we'll figure that out. But these Thursday shows are typically just going to be me, Joey, Dalton, and then a guest. We have a guest on their way to the studio. He'll probably show up 5 minutes after the show's over. What's up, Steve? What's up, Sean? What's up, James? Pat 40. No, Pat 40 is not going to, FHF is not going to attack me tonight. Good evening, Antron. There's TJ, the honorary Oos. Brian potentially losing out on AJ is a bigger deal. Look, if y'all have listened to the show, what's up, Damon? What's up, Robbie? I've told y'all for 2 weeks now, we're not getting AJ. It's not potentially losing out. We're not getting AJ. And I know what the average fan, especially right now with all the pistivity going on Twitter.
That's an excellent word.
Thank you. What's up, Tyler? We can't get a. Here's what y'all have to understand. And I didn't even understand it this much. The IRP ruling came out, what, it was 2 weeks ago tomorrow? Prior to that, every player that was out there we could get was told we were going to get a 1-year ban. Now, I have this planned for later in the show. I'm going to save it. You all have to understand how much more powerful and damaging this cloud was than we all thought. Yes, go Louisville men's soccer. What's up, Deshaun? What's up, everybody? Nick, what's up? What's up, Nick? So we'll get to that. I've got that. Absolutely, Sean. Just let the cake bake. Who's next? I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about who's next because I do have a little bit of insight about that. Here's the sucky thing. I do have some people, and y'all know I've got some people up there that are like, I'd love to tell you some stuff, but I know it'll get back to me. And I'm like, ugh. Not like I would tell them, but like if I said something, even alluded to it, they would be like, oh, well, we only told you. So, but there's some stuff. There is some stuff that I can't tell you, and I will tell you in a little bit. Chat line is open, obviously. Underneath my microphone is where you can support us. If you want to donate to the show, keep these coming more often. We would love nothing but to give y'all multiple episodes in a week. I would love at some point to get Dalton a weekly recruiting segment on here. Higgy, I know we joke a lot with him, and he's probably the guy that the guy last week was talking to and not me. But and he's probably still erasing that huge honking wiener off the side of his house. But
I'm just gonna say whoever drew that, like, they must have a weird one.
The weirdest one ever.
Yeah.
It looks like one of the Teletubbies
It did.
with big knees. I don't know. Did you ever see the video DJ getting in the fight? Yes, I saw no, that wasn't the breaking point. What's up, Nick? Fabian, how come nobody in the local media talks about the players that have signed for next year? Because it doesn't fit their narrative. Marcus and Steve talks about them. Everybody else, if you got on Twitter this morning, you saw a group of people, and I'm not going to mention their names because here's another thing. I refuse to buy into any more of the negativity on social media. Even the people who I deem the sourpusses. Like, I got on one thread this morning, and all 6 of the same people that are bitching and moaning all the time on Twitter were in the same thread, and I was like, not today, Satan.
Misery loves company.
Absolutely. KP picking up a slack of Chris Mack, so they got to adjust his playing style. They'll be fine. Malik, great point. Fabian, Twitter is like, that's what I told Rummage earlier. I was like, Facebook used to be the place for the crazies.
It still is.
Twitter makes Facebook look like a family reunion.
Facebook's just pissy mean.
Yeah, pretty much. Again, support the show. Donate to the 3 things underneath me. Support the show by following us on all the social medias, as you can see underneath Dalton and Smokey Joe. Shout us out on Twitter when you enjoy watching the show, listening to the show, because a lot of people, that's one thing that me and Sydney was talking about, not Sydney Curry, Nolan's sister Sydney, we were talking about earlier. We needed a lot more positivity. And unfortunately, the only time you see on Twitter anybody being mentioned is when they're either complaining about shows, or the people running those shows are trying to run our program into the ground and people are interacting with it. So do me a favor. Shout us out on Twitter if you enjoy us. Don't forget to hit that like button. Let me get caught back up with the chat line, and then we'll jump right into to our show for the night. Louisville Twitter is beyond toxic, Don. Tyler said it's hard to get on it. Steve went off yesterday on their show. Very entertaining. I didn't hear it. Steve's been one of my best friends for 18 years. Marcus has been one of my friends for about 30-something years. I can't listen to him. I just can't. It's not that I don't like listening to him, but it makes me nervous. I don't even listen back to our shows because it makes me a little bit, I just can't do it. When does the early signing period end, and has a certain Duke commit signed anything yet? Look, those Duke commits that we were in good shape for were told a month ago that we were going to get a postseason ban, and they went ahead and signed their letters of intent. As I said last week, like and share, everybody. Absolutely. I've been a long time Twitter user. I still read, but I deleted all my tweets. Pretty good, Dan. Too many BBN hacks that follow all the guys want to join in with their 2 cents. Absolutely. And I knew what you meant. And that's true too. So let's see. Gary Jones in the house. What is up? But no, here's what I'll say. Those 2 Duke guys that I would have bet my house on, the program would bet their house on, thinking they were going to get them, went ahead and signed, because before the IARP stuff came out. Same thing with AJ. And we'll talk about AJ in a little bit. Let's get y'all know me. I'll get off track, and then the show will go all in circles like Higgy's hairline. So let's try to stay on track. Joey, what are you doing? I thought you were at the stadium reporting live from the stadium.
I got in trouble.
You got in trouble from who?
The law. That's a lineup. It's a lineup photo.
No, I get it. What did you get in trouble for?
I wasn't supposed to be in the stadium.
Oh, okay. I get it now. My bad.
Gosh, dang.
My understanding is LOIs can be broken if they want. There's some stuff that has to be agreed upon, but maybe I've never seen that before, but it is what it is. All right, let's jump right in. We're gonna talk a little bit about NC State, and then I'm gonna let y'all control the narrative of the rest of the show because I want to hear what y'all have to say. We're 4-point favorites against NC State, 3:30 p.m. on your regional sports networks. Even though it says on the app it's on ESPN2, it got bumped because another game got canceled. We got bumped down, which makes no sense at all. You would have thought we'd have got bumped up to the ACC network. Sorry, we were supposed to be on ACC network. You would have thought we'd have got bumped up to one of the, but we didn't. We got completely taken off. Joey's distracting me. Another pretty even tell of the tape. Louisville is leading an average 29 to 26 average points per game for the offense. NC State's leading 18. They're allowing 18 a game. We're allowing 21. Total offense, we're up by about 71 yards. Total D, they have 30 yards. They allow 30 yards less per game than we do. The key stat that I saw was their rushing, the amount of rushing yards they allow per game, and that's 90. And that's a big head. Good God.
He was talking about you.
No, my head is perfect.
He said it went right over your head, and that's a big head.
All right, Sean, let's see. How do you eject people from the chat room?
I'm just saying, like, he wasn't talking
He's
about me.
next. Somebody asked me who's next earlier. It's Sean Thomas. No, the eye-popping stat from either team was the 92. They allow 92 rushing yards per game. I feel like we'll have two guys that go over this game. Their leading rusher has 459 yards rushing on the season. Not great at all. Their leading receiver has 569, also not great. And the leading receiver for us is 866 with Tyler Hudson. Surprise, surprise. I know what you're thinking. Well, why didn't you mention their leading passer or our leading passer or rusher? Well, their leading passer's out. Their backup quarterback is questionable at the moment. They're assuming. I was on the Red and White podcast yesterday morning with my guy Evan, and he believes that their backup quarterback will not play. It'll be their third string quarterback, and I have not been given any information before anybody tries to get on Twitter and Jeremy Wyman said, I do not believe Malik's going to play this game. Okay. I don't think he'll play this game, and I would be shocked if he played next week. So I didn't include any of their stats on there because they're not technically going to be the leaders at those categories. Keys to the game for me, we got to stop the run. Our front seven has to get a lot of pressure, and we got to get to this third string quarterback and make him make a lot of mistakes. Dalton, for you, what are your keys to the game for us to get a W here against NC State? An almost identical battered and beaten NC State.
It's the same keys every single week. Starting out strong on offense. We saw how that hurt us in the game against Clemson. Granted, a lot of other stuff going on there, but offense didn't necessarily start out strong whatsoever. I think defensively, it's all about getting after the quarterback, right? I think that regardless of who the opposing signal caller is, it's been shown this season that regardless of who Louisville's going up against, as much pressure as they can get definitely has a big effect in respective games. So getting pressure on the opposing quarterback, starting out strong, but also doing the little things well, not defeating yourselves. So that means, winning the turnover margin and definitely, not penalizing yourself as much. So kind of, your same storylines that we were talking about in week one are the same here, in the second to last game of the year.
Absolutely. And I want to say what's up to Jordan, Tony, Joe, Denise, and Sean has said he loves me. He's apologizing is what it is. Dwayne, what's good? Hillamore Bay says, hey guys, what's good? What's up? And Cardinal, like the reason we couldn't get nothing going in the first half against Clemson is because the referees stopped us every time we were starting. Similar thing as like the first quarter didn't bother me. We've struggled in the first quarter all year. Started to rev it up, and every time we went to make a positive play in the second and third quarter, those refs made sure that Clemson didn't lose that game. And I'm not a big blame the ref guy. I don't. But there were 5 or 6 instances where they just were laying the pipe to us for lack of better terms. So Joey, what about you? What are the keys to this game for a Louisville victory? And I'm going to reverse it. Tell me what's important for NC State to win this game.
Well, I think the fans are important for Louisville to win this game. We're 4-1 at home this year. The one loss, obviously, at the beginning of the season to Florida State. But since then, the fans have been, while, not at capacity or anything, but man, even halfway, I mean, it sounds like it's a sellout. They've been amazing this year. The defense definitely thrives on that. You can tell. They get up when the fans are cheering. So I think that has a big thing to do it. Fans are going to play a key role in this game. The defense will feed off of it. We've seen that especially against Wake Forest. I don't know that there's any I don't know a lot about NC State. Obviously, I know, like you said, their season starter went down with a a season-ending injury, and then they may be playing their third string quarterback this week. But honestly, the way Louisville's been playing at home, I'm not sure there's much that NC State can do. Like, it's going to be what we don't do more so than what they can do. It's going to be back to our front seven, defense, DBs making some plays here and there. But as long as we can stop the run, I think, which we have all year, we're one of the better run defenses in the conference.
I just feel like, and you said you don't know a whole lot about it, NC State. I had to do a bunch of research for the show I did yesterday morning, so I know a little bit more than I ever wanted to know. But it almost feels like I could turn this around and say, well, for NC State to win, they got to stop the run. They've got to get some pressure in on Brock, and you got to get to him and make him make. So the same thing goes both ways, like Sean.
Yeah. No, he don't go anywhere.
Possible. No, he don't go anywhere.
He's a Dwayne Cannon kind of guy.
Mr. Sean. Bay says it killed our momentum before the half on the faulty pass interference, and they're looking forward to seeing defense get back to being greedy again. I agree with that. I think we will. And then Denise makes a great point. It's not like our home refs are any better. No loud music
you can't
allowed.
play the music, but no, like what you were saying,
Mike. Let's freeze them out.
On our quarterback. I mean, obviously, I think that will happen. But here's how you negate that, right? Run the ball. We can't sack Brock if we run the ball. And if we've got 2 or 3, we should have at least 3 of the 4 running backs available, right?
I don't know
who's available.
I haven't heard anything that suggests that Tyon is out.
Okay.
I know Tyon and Jahar, but I don't know if the other 2 are.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Cooley. But
even with that, those 2 guys they've shown they can run for each 100 yards apiece.
I don't think it's on the running backs, Joey. I think last week proved that, man, I get it. It's Clemson's defensive line. Let's be honest, it's probably one of the better defensive lines in college football. Right. Offensive line did not look all that well last week at all. Both in pass protection, we couldn't run the ball at all.
Well, we haven't looked good all year in pass block at all, period.
That's very fair.
A lot of that is, and Jeremy said this a million times, it's not that Brock's a bad quarterback. It's just the setup is not geared towards the game. I don't know what the word is.
Conducive?
Right, to his game. Right. So.
Oh, yeah, I got big words.
Our offensive line isn't the best pass blockers, but Malik's athleticism covers it up. You don't know, the average fan just at the game or watching on TV doesn't see that as much. They think, oh, wow, he got out there and made a play. But that's why we need to run the ball. I think our offensive line against NC State's defensive line, like you said, a Clemson defensive line or an Alabama defensive line, teams like that, you kind of expect that because every one of them is going to be playing on Sunday when they leave Clemson or Alabama. NC State's not usually known for that. Offensive line, they are.
Fair.
I mean, they usually, you can throw out some offensive linemen, some quarterbacks here and there, but yeah, I think it's more so on we need to run the ball. I mean, I know people don't want to see that. That's not sexy. That's not an attractive game. Run the ball, chew up clock, score points, defense.
Control the time of possession.
Might not necessarily be a fun style to watch, but you know what's fun?
I don't care. I want wins.
Winning.
Right.
Winning is fun.
That's
confirmed.
I don't.
Unless you're Iowa, and then winning sometimes probably just isn't fun.
Look,
life is not fun enough.
I was talking to Evan about that yesterday too, because he's like, "How was the?" And I want y'all to go listen to it. I retweeted it. It's on my timeline this morning. Red and White Podcast. Great guys over there. We have a lot of fun anytime I'm on their show or they're on our show. But he asked about the changes. He said y'all went from wanting to fire Satterfield to, which I guess he doesn't know that there's still a majority of the fan base that's ready to send him off with roses. But how did you all get over that? I was like, it's winning. I said, look, we're used to these great offensive geniuses, Bobby Petrino, John L. Smith, to name a few that have, well, Petrino a couple times. He's been either our offensive coordinator or our head coach. And we're used to 50, 60 points on the board. We knew what we were getting with Scott Satterfield. A lot of us didn't want it. But when we got it, we embraced him, and we knew it was, what have I said 100 times? His offense is run, 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 kick, run, 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 pass, run, 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 pass, run, run, kick, run, run, punt, or whatever. So, yeah, it's like Joey said, it's not going to be sexy. What's up, Matt? But it should be a win. We have to establish a run before we can get any before the yeah, for sure.
And that's in any game, this game or not. Like, you need to run the ball to set up the pass. You can't be predictable. You know, like if they know you're running every play. I mean, unless you just got an all-conference offensive line at every position, you know, an all-world running back, you have to do that in every game. But with the weather as well, like somebody made a point in that, with the weather as well, like run the ball. Those hits, that running back lowering their shoulder and hitting a DB or a linebacker is going to hurt a little bit more.
Buddy, it is going to be cold on Saturday.
Yeah.
So cold. James says, win the turnover and field position battle. My screen went down. We win the game, and both offenses struggle, need a cheap one or a short field. I think we'll get that. Bay says we have to establish a run before any offense can get moving. I already repeated that. Special teams always make the difference. Our guy Mike, I think weather conditions will be very similar to the blackout game versus West Virginia. I don't know why my screen keeps blanking out. Super crispy cold. Just run the ball, protect it, cause chaos on the edges of defense. Should be good. Uncle Larry said the players love John Allen. Yeah, they did. Getting under the center wouldn't hurt either. No, that actually would.
Starting 7 yards back, and
that would not. So let's get your predictions. Dalton, I'll ask you for your prediction for the game first, and then Joe, you can follow right after him.
I think that this is mainly going to be sort of every time I say it's going to be a defensive slugfest, it never is. And every time I say it's going to be an offensive shootout, it never is. So I'm going to try to meet somewhere in the middle. I think it'll probably be, let's go Louisville 24, NC State 17. I think that the Cardinals defense continues to produce at a very high level. I think that the rushing attack for the Cardinals gets going. And look, I think that Brock Doman does what is needed to be done like he did at Virginia. So I think it might not necessarily be the prettiest win, but hey, a win is a win is a win. So 28-17, good guys.
Joey?
I'm going to go 23-13, good guys. Again, I don't think it's going to – I think it's going to be –
a lot of field goals?
Yeah, I do think there'll be – hey, we know – we get in the red zone and we have trouble, right? So I think
great. More criticism on why we didn't kick a 65-yard field goal.
That's not in the red zone
with a guy who only had. No, I'm just thinking of all the kicks.
No, I mean,
I think kicked to 152 yards, but they expected him to hit a 59 yard.
No. I believe with the weather, with the type of game that we're going to have to play with, with Malik out if he is. It's going to be we're going to score a lot of field goals, and that's fine as long as we score more points than them. I don't care if it's field goals or touchdowns. I want to win. Winning cures everything. But yeah, 23-13. I think the defense steps up in the fourth quarter and keeps NC State from being able to build any momentum and come back to get us, and we squeak one out and we get to 7 wins. We go on to next week.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with my prediction from the show yesterday. It's gonna be it's gonna be 4-3 Louisville. We're gonna get a couple of safeties. They're gonna hit a field goal. It's gonna be painful. Just from talking with them yesterday, everything that they said about their team resonated with me, and struggles our team was having. Almost every year we're a carbon copy of them. I really do think this is going to be close.
Average honky
in the house. What up, Matt? What's the line at? It's 4. I said at the beginning of the show, who's back up to Brock? I am. Dwayne says, I think Brock will surprise us with some nice throws. Let me get back to.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to hand the ball off every single play.
Boombox Mike says 27.
Don't be so sure, Joey.
I don't think we will.
Brian McGlasson says, does the Virginia performance beat NC State? Prediction 30-21. I think it's going to be 20-17 Louisville. I think that
I'm just glad Devin Leary's not playing this game because
we get after him.
Well, I mean, that's the same thing we thought about Hartman, and we absolutely took his soul and sent
it. But I mean, if we're predicting a very close victory for Louisville with a third string quarterback, I mean, Devin Leary, in my opinion, to be completely honest, I think he's the best quarterback in the conference. Devin Leary is. But
Michelle, hey,
that is neither here nor there because he's not going to be playing against the Cardinals this weekend. So
we sent Hartman to rehab, and he didn't want to go. Go.
Latest comment.
Bobby Boucher beat Louisville 5-0. Anything's possible, Coach Klein. Coach Klein, what a boy.
High quality.
Man, you never know who will step up, but as long as we take advantage of the opportunity at home, our running back should be enough to win this game, is what I'll say.
I believe so.
Uncle Larry says 17-30. He just tried to go one score lower than what I went on both.
You just went one score lower than I did.
I think this will be 14-10 Louisville.
That's the spread.
Robbie says 28-27 Louisville. Mike says bundle up, everybody, have a good Friday. Yeah, it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be a good time. But like Joey said, the crowd has been phenomenal. It may numbers wise, it may not have been, but they've even said on TV
it's been loud
that it may only be 30,000 people there, but it sounds 60,000 strong, and it has been audibly. Y'all made an audible difference on the TV. Jacob Lane, what up? Yeah, thanks. Also, hey to me, jerk. I'm joking. We need to get Jacob on here sometime, man.
He said hi.
Less than Wayne, these fools out here hating on KP. We'll get to that, man. God, I wish, and it's stuff that I wish that the public could know so they'd be a little bit more understanding, but it's just not. I know, man. I don't know what the boundaries are anymore. Are you East Side and we're West Side? Are y'all Crips and we're Bloods? I don't know. I'm just kidding. Dan says closing in the north end zone really made a difference on the crowd noise. Great point. We know refs said no more music. I think that. Wait a minute.
All right, guy. You know what? This guy.
Look, I'm not hitting the music. It takes too long. We got to.
Sorry.
Let everyone move closer to the field and yell like HE hockey sticks.
I'm going back to the stadium.
Joey's going back to report from the stadium.
Yeah, go back to the stadium.
What's the crowd like at the stadium now, Joey?
Well, it's dead right now, as you can see. The stands are empty, but I'm
the
doing
sun's out. Surprisingly, it's 7:30
heck
on the night.
Take names.
You know what I noticed the most? There's a lot of pink seats.
Oh, no,
pink seats.
It's just the way the sun's hitting them.
Shout out to pink seats. James says, just want to see formation with fullback leading Evans, please. 28-10 Cards. Wolfpack finishes with wide receiver having to play quarterback. Hey, look,
not impossible.
Braden Smith may be our quarter. We may be pulling the reverse. What was that dude's name for the Smurf turds? Oh, Lynn Bowden.
I don't care about him.
No, I don't either. But Braden Smith may be our Lynn Bowden this week. We don't know.
They relied on that douche for like 6 weeks.
Okay, Dan. I'm glad you transitioned us into basketball because we are going to talk about basketball. Oh no, we're not. Dan, we'll get to you in a second. Dalton, monster recruiting class coming in this weekend. Not only do we have almost every commit that's committed to us this year, but we've got some sleepers in there. Can you tell the people a little bit about the people that aren't recruiting savvy? Like Joey doesn't really follow recruiting a lot. I have the last 5. Since we developed the recruiting department, I've become a little more recruiting.
If I was still married, I probably would because I wouldn't have much else to do.
But tell the people, inform the people that don't follow recruiting as much. just how big this weekend is for Louisville football.
Oh, I mean, it's going to be an incredible weekend. Having the amount of commitments on campus once again, especially this late in the season, it is definitely a benefit because let's be honest, early signing day is about a month away. This is, I'm not going to say uncharted territory because Louisville has had to compete all the way up until signing day for a handful of prospects, over, the X amount of years, but maybe not perhaps with this many top caliber players. I mean, there's been talk of DeAndre Moore, taking visits to other places. Ohio State fans are seemingly increasingly confident that they're going to be able to flip Reuben Owens.
That was
So
not to
on.
interrupt you. That was the weirdest one of all because some national writer tweeted out this morning, Ohio State's going after Reuben Owens, and the first 300 comments were, "Oh, he's not fast enough for Ohio State. Oh, we wouldn't want him." Just completely defecating all over Reuben Owens, and I'm like, all right, y'all keep tweeting, keep doing that kind of stuff. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing about it is, regardless of if these rumors are true, if they're not, if a certain player is thinking about going elsewhere, if they're not, that is what it is. That's a conversation for a different day. I will say that regardless if it's true or not, getting these guys back on campus this close to signing day, especially with all of the other commits, especially Pierce Clarkson, Reuben Owens, Aaron Williams, so on and so forth, all of our top guys are going to be on campus, or at least the majority of them, so that's big. Also, the news coming out today, literally a top 5 player in the 2024 class will be on campus this weekend. Wide receiver Jeremiah Smith, who is high school teammates with Edwin Joseph, a 2023 defensive back that we are recruiting currently that has gotten some crystal ball projections in the past month. And guess where he's from? The South Florida area. So we talk about the California pipeline. The staff trying to build up that South Florida pipeline as well, which has been very, very good to the University of Louisville over the past amount of years. So I know I'm rambling on a little bit. Needless to say, maybe not necessarily a ton of high-profile uncommitted guys, but it's probably equally as important that you're getting some of those California guys back on campus altogether, because if there's any doubts, you need to alleviate some of those, because buckle up. It might not necessarily be all that smooth sailing because, as we've seen, recruiting is very, very unpredictable. So whatever efforts you can put forth to try to secure commitments and getting that signature on those dotted lines, by all means necessary. And obviously getting a top 5 player for the 2024 class on campus is just something that, I mean, you just kind of shrug your shoulders and say, wow.
I can tell you that I can't remember, and if any of y'all can, or any Pete, I know Pete watches, so if you want to just very discreetly text me and correct me, I'll probably still take credit for it, but I'll let you do that. But I can't remember the last game of the season ever having this much talent, and I've been around the program for a long time, and I don't remember ever having this much talent from the current year on campus the last day of the game, let alone having and there's some more players, and I feel bad we didn't mention them, but there's a lot of local players. Isaac Soul's son's coming in. My guy JT Haskins' son is coming in. The kid from, is it DeSales, the big dude, the Tyson Glover, something. I don't have the list in front of me right now, and I don't want to mess. But we got a lot of local talent coming in this weekend that I think that we are using to change the narrative that the local kids don't matter. And that's something that's big to us here in the city. Our best teams have always had the foundation of Miami players and Louisville players, and we need to get back to that. Let's go back to the Isaac says big Louisville, absolutely. Michelle says yeah, we'll get to that in a second. And I am nuts. Thank you, Michelle. Pardon me. Be nice to see a crowd out there for the recruits. It'd also be nice if it was 70 degrees out there. Look, our fans are some of the most fickle people, and a lot of the ones that, well, back in the 90s when I played football, would be out there, rain, sun, or they're like 80 years old now. They're not going to be out there as much. It's up to the younger generations. Dalton's generation, my generation. Yes, I said it. Shut up. To take their place and show as much pride as they did. And those people were here during 0-11 seasons. And Louisville was the bye game 11 out of the 12 games every year. Like, they really supported this team. And if we had a little bit less complaining and a little bit more supporting, things would be nice. But, yeah, I don't expect a big crowd out there, but I expect them to be loud, the ones that do get out there. Do you still think we get DeAndre Moore? I think it's going to be one of those signing days. It's going to be up. You know what?
He's the one I'm worried about the most.
You know what? Forget it. I'm going to say it comes down to signing day, and I say we retain him. I do. I think maybe he's just going out and getting these visits. Every athlete gets a certain amount of visits. Why not go out and enjoy
Who
them?
wouldn't want to go get court? Like
Field side.
what they do, for a recruit on a visit. Like, who wouldn't?
Uncle Larry's old behind will be there, he said. Oh, that's not what he said. I'm sorry. I remember we couldn't even win our homecoming game. Absolutely. I'm out there regardless of the weather and the record. Yes, my entire state championship from Mel went to U of L. Okay, what year was that? Was that Ivan and Chris and Don and Alvin and all those guys? Because that's the year that I went there. Uber Andre. Do me a favor. Before we get to this next point, I'm gonna need you to hop on. Are you near a computer? If you're near a computer, let me know. We're gonna get you on here to help heal Cardination at the end of this. We need your sermon, man. That's the one. That's all it comes down to. Why wouldn't I want to go to a free Texas or Georgia game? Absolutely, honky. I get it. I agree.
He's going to have to start changing his name to above average, honky.
Oh, he's above average for sure. He or she. Well, we don't know. I can't see the icon, so I don't know.
It's a Death Star. So he probably likes Star Wars, which means it's probably a guy.
Ashland? Is that you? No, it's not Ashland. But yeah, sorry, got off on a tangent. So that's the class we got coming in. I don't ever remember this caliber of a recruit visitor list this late in the season. Hopefully we use this to secure everything. He's using the NIL the way in football, the way it's supposed to be used, just like I believe. Before y'all hop in and start jumping on Kenny, I was a freshman with Tom. Okay. Gotcha. Press conference with Ella. Yes, the press conference with Ella and Mike James was awesome. One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to import tweets, or maybe I'll just wait till they update it to make it easier. Who's our quarterback of the future? Do we go away from the mobile quarterback? No. Pierce Clarkson is going to be our quarterback next year. But I've been hearing some rumblings.
What, Malik's coming back for a 12th year?
No, man. I went to school with Malik. He's like a 32.
Hodge Turner.
It's Hodge. It's actually Alex Sanders is coming back. No, been hearing some big rumblings of I don't want to give too much away because, again, then they won't tell me anything else. But this guy's a starter for a top 25 team right now. And there's rumblings.
Maverick Rowan.
God dang it, No, is it? He probably is still playing. He was one of those.
Cat Barber.
Cat, man, his visit still irks me to this day.
Mike Mara.
Quincy Miller.
Michelle said Malik will play with his grandkids. Oh, my. Do you think Coach Sett hits the portal hard this year? I miss Uber Andre, always on Ramsey and Rutherford. Uber Andre is the man. He is. I wore Mo Money's jersey. Oh, Danny Mosby was my next door roommate. Nicest dude ever. Still talk to him. No, heck no. Honky. Come on, man. I gave you credit, and now you're going to throw Will. I said a current top 25 team. I didn't say
we're talking about
one.
Are we talking about football?
Yeah. A transfer quarterback? Yeah. No, we're not playing. We're not talking about soccer. Playoffs? No. So let's see. Yeah, we miss Uber Andre too. We're gonna have to get this set up in advance. James. Okay, Uber Andre, looking for a big win on Saturday. You know what? I'm gonna need you to come on the show next week. We need to get that next Thursday night. I'm gonna need you to come on the show. So don't let me forget. I always have a lot going on, so I'll forget. Don't let me forget. John Lindemann, the tiny wonder. Is Earl Clark on campus yet? Very good question. No, but segue. We will in December have Earl Clark and Mike Rutherford on the show the same day. One of Mike's, favorite players ever. And when Earl agreed to do the show, I was like, let's get Rutherford on there too. Maverick Rowan flooded the message boards. Yep. Brian Broham. Let's get him in here.
I know who you're talking about. You're referring to Munchie Legault.
Yep. Gosh dang it. Dalton steals all the good ones.
Hendon Hooker.
Didn't we just get in trouble
Greg
for
Paulus when he was the quarterback for
Dude,
Syracuse?
I don't care if Hendon Hooker said, I want to be a Louisville Cardinal. I'm going to be, all world. We cannot have him on our team.
We were in this final three. Like, it looked for a little while that
we were going to have more
Taylor
Hooker,
Martinez
on campus.
DJ would be tough. Yeah, that'd be a good one if that was him I was talking about. I feel like we need to go after DBs. We see him a little thin at that position. And
we just need one.
Chicken Nose have any eligibility left? Yeah, but I think he's gonna take care of that. Like, one thing there's only one position he's not really recruited well at, and that's quarterback. And he's gonna change that this year with Pierce Clarkson getting on the field and his grad transfer mentor that'll be here too. So it is what it is. Erica Patton is watching. Hello, Erica.
Because
thank you for joining the show. No, greetings from Florida, said Little John. Hey, Little John, what are you doing in Florida?
Little
the
John,
third week of November. Are they having some kind of tiny persons
Lego convention? He's a model.
He's one of them. They're having the hood ornament convention, and he's one of the models for the front of the car.
Cardinal model.
Luke McCaffrey, good God. Uncle Larry says, any new injuries to report? No, I haven't heard anything. Dalton, you heard anything?
I stumped my toe.
Joey is day to day.
Yeah.
He stumped
toe sprain.
All right, y'all. I know y'all wanted to get into basketball. So Allie Jack in the house. Thank God. Look, we shouted you out earlier. We're glad that all of our normal people are here. Rito is going to get it the next time.
No, he'll jump in here in about 10 minutes.
That's fair.
I'm late.
And then Master Yoda, I'm gonna have to give them both a hard time for not being here on time. Like, we go at the same time every Thursday, 7:00. I'm actually thankful that I had two people show up to help co-host tonight. That's an abnormality, and I still don't know if the other one's going to show up.
He's not going to be here before the show's over.
He's not. All right, y'all. Let's talk about what y'all wanted to been talking about, basketball. Let's go back to the question that we got earlier. Woohoo! I'm normal. Well, we said at the beginning of the show that we loved everybody, but we didn't see some of our favorites. And then Uber Andre popped in, Michelle popped in, Honky popped in, you popped in. So, I mean, we love everybody except for John equally.
Aaron, you just need to bring us some crab rangoon to make up for being late. He said he had to go. He's late too. He had to go get his wife some Chinese food.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We need
crab rangoon.
Let's see. Okay, Dan. Only critique I have of KP is he should probably have been more active on the local radio shows, preparing the fans on how the season might go. So I'm going to disagree with you there, and not just because I like disagreeing, but because number one favorite. Thank you, Eric. I had to take my dog out. My bad. I'll never forgive you. I forgive you. Kenny. Okay. Lee says first U of L basketball game, 1972. Wow, been a Cardinal since. I had to join the military for 4 years to get the GI Bill to pay for school at Louisville. Graduate 89. Sacrifice to be a Cardinal. Thank you so much. Hey, he is here. Thank you so much for your service. Hold on, y'all. We're doing this for dramatic effect. Come in, you 7-foot beauty. You better hop on the microphone. You better come and hop on this microphone over here, you tall drink of water.
Oh, you can see him in the background. No, you're going to have to raise your computer up.
I'm good. Get over here and sit at the table. Teresa will kill you if you get anything on the floor or the couch. Come sit at the table.
Sit at the bar then.
Come break bread with us. It's the 6'10" center from Pleasure Ridge Park, Kentucky, weighing in at 249 pounds on a fat day.
49 pounds of it.
49 pounds of it is his humongous swag. Terrance Farley. Get your big tall behind over here. Man, come talk to, at least let us look at you while we're doing our show. We're doing hard work. I said before the season that Miller would help. Allie said, Tyler, why are people saying that other players? I don't know. Nobody was pushed out of the program. You need to call in the middays with Marcus Maven on game days, or the We Loved You. Heck, even the morning show on 790. No, they need to call in on. Uber Andre needs to call into our show, and then he needs to call in on middays. That's it. I would like to see a 2-2-1 press that backs into a 2-3 zone. This will allow the freshmen to easily know their defensive assignment. You'd think so. We're going to get some recruits. Fans just need to be patient. Okay, so let's dive into that. KP does not and did not owe anybody anything as far as getting on the radio shows this summer. He wanted to get to work. He's been very transparent so far. He told us in his introductory press conference, I need you. Things are going to be harder. They're going to be worse before they get better.
Said it. Was there.
Then in the ACC Media Days, was that a flex?
Yeah.
Very well-deserved flex.
Yeah.
ACC Media Days, he said, we're about 2 months behind where I want to be. We need Hersey to make Fabio and
Devin,
yes. Thank you. Earn their time, and it looks like that's what they're doing. Again, his transparency has been off the wall. Real G's move in silence like lasagna, right? That's what we're always told. He needs to, KP needs to stop with the love fest and start getting in their behinds. Look, KP's doing it like y'all don't see it. A lot of y'all are whining and I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. I have no problem with criticism. I have no problems with you all being man. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I think. Y'all are gonna do what you want, as you should. I'm not gonna try to change y'all's minds, just like I wouldn't want you all to try to change my mind and be like, Jeremy, you need to be more toxic on Twitter. I'm like, no, I can't do it. But here's the thing. He's working on stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that y'all don't know about that he's trying to fix and get better. There's a lot of stuff. Let's talk about AJ for a few. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be either the Final Three is Louisville, Texas, or the G League. Well, it's kind of looking like maybe he made an agreement with Texas a couple of weeks ago before our IARP. And you can't fault these kids. Oh, we missed on Amani. No, Amani wanted to play in the NCAA tournament. He thought we were going to get a ban. Oh, we missed on Ramey. No, Ramey thought we were getting a ban. Oh, we missed on Dior. I'm fine with that because he got in trouble a couple of days later, and he does not look like he'd have been the solution.
We don't need that publicity.
No. KP is like crumb. Great point. KP doesn't spend anything like Cal does. I absolutely agree with you. Huh?
Who's Cal?
I have never heard of Cal. Who's Cal? Hersey is more impressive than I expected as well. I miss Wiz. I thought he was developing. Agreed. My only disappointment this season, and I don't want to say it's a disappointment because I don't want to get on the young kid because I know he's already going through some stuff. I was told all summer that Kamari Lands was like playing like a senior, like everything he shot, he was like a human video game. And I haven't seen that yet.
Well, difference between games and playing with your buddies in the gym, in the practice gym.
That's the difference. That's just like a high T blocked about 14 shots a game. And for me to expect that he was going to come to Louisville and block 14 shots a game, man, you had a lot of blocks though at Louisville. Are you not going to interact with us at all? Is he shaking his head? No. What a hermit.
I love it.
What a hermit.
I'm at the stadium. You could come over here. No. Yeah, well, over. Yeah.
Dang it. I don't like this camera.
He said in the right spot.
He said
he knew what he was doing.
Yeah. We didn't miss out on Hunter though, Tyler. The kid wanted to play in the tournament. He was told we were going to get a ban. Can't say I'm crazy about his style so far. I don't think we've seen his style so far. I think he's trying to teach these kids, and he's Hersey hadn't played basketball in over
fundamentals
a year.
first, and then he'll get into a style.
Tyler says people are saying Fab. No, people aren't saying that. KP said in his press conference the other day that Fab and Ree weren't getting any playing time. They're hurting the team because they weren't going to class, practice. It's not false information, Tyler. He said it. That's 100% facts. They're late to practice. They're late to treatments. They're late to what was the other one? Oh, tutoring. So that's not false information. False information is the dude last night, which we smoothed things out, but tried to at me and say, your buddy Nolan Smith is despicable. He tweeted out something with the middle finger at the end of it, to which I responded, that's not true. People like you spreading false information is what's wrong with this fan base, and I won't stand for you lying on him.
Well, my question would have been was what was said to him?
He goes, the person said, you need to stop tweeting and get some guards. And Nolan said, you need to get a life.
Oh, no, it was the...
No, it was the fist.
Yeah, it was just a fist.
So I showed him the clip.
He fisted him.
What?
That's what I bring to this podcast, Aaron.
Uneffing believable.
No, it's absolutely 100%
believable.
believable.
So I showed him the proof, and he said,
I saw it myself.
I'm so sorry. I was told that.
If you're tweeting at the guy, like, I'm sorry, I have no problem with if you tweet at Kenny Payne and he responds with something you don't like, that's your fault. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. What do you expect? I'm sorry, I'll do exactly what you say. No, they're the ones running this team.
Gary Gum in the house.
What up?
QB1. Well, Joey's QB1, my QB2. Still ranked in the top 5 of my QBs for sure. But yeah, it's just like they expect that these people are so toxic on Twitter. They think that they can say whatever they want to anybody and have no recourse. I mean, another guy was messing with Nolan, and I forgot exactly what was said, but Nolan was like, thank you for your criticism. That's exactly what I need to do my job right. And it's just like, now Shane is another thing. Please, if y'all want to F around and find out,
you want smoke?
Tweet Shayna something stupid about Nolan, about Kenny, about these players. She'll turn you sideways. That's all I'm gonna say. But Mantis Mike, my thing is I don't know that we've seen his coaching style so far. I think that I think he's trying to teach these kids how to the fundamentals and how, like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that if y'all knew, y'all wouldn't be as harsh as y'all are. And I'll leave that at that. I like the Patino. Make a stupid mistake, call timeout, rip out the game, and then rip you for 2 minutes. Hey, look, T got pulled out so many times. He even looked like he was going to shoot a 3-pointer one time, and P was like, no, you're out. Get out. Go. What do you mean, Cal?
Everybody on that team was allowed to shoot threes but Terry.
Yep. Kamar needs to see the ball go in the basket. I agree with that.
I know him as Terry. Y'all don't know
Roderick. Yeah, y'all can't call him that. Y'all don't know him. KP don't owe us anything. We owe it to him for coming here regardless. Absolutely. And that's at the end of the day, that's the biggest deal. He didn't have, and I know a lot of y'all are like, well, I wish he wouldn't have. So here's the thing. Let's say you got a Musselman or a Hartman or a Scott Drew, and these little problems get swept under the rug. Well, guess what's bubbling up next year? These problems we swept. KP is going to make sure that this entire, and at the end of the day, it should not matter to them what the fans think. It's their job. It's their jobs, and they should care what people. They should not care what people think. They should care about results and teaching. And I think KP has stripped this all the way to the ground, and he's rebuilding this program from the ground up. The whole "don't care if you make a mistake" thing still doesn't sit right. I don't think that's the way he actually meant it, but I get it. Yeah, our fan base has become toxic. Land shot is guided and flat, classic nerves. Yep, these guys all need to focus on the basket first. There's stuff going on behind the scenes that KP's trying to heal them from last year, trying to help them get over from last year. Someone needs to double fist those players. What? No, no, Robbie.
That's called sexual assault.
Yeah, we don't do that. Get your bus to class, be on time. What the F? Yeah,
I agree with that.
I'm not going to double fist anybody.
Never
Especially
tried.
not on the first date. Just kidding. Dalton, are you here?
No.
Okay, cool. Michelle says people think they can say whatever they want to and they shouldn't respond. Yeah, that's not how the Smiths work. That's not how KP works. That's not how Jeremy works. Y'all heard that last week. Steve says defense needs a lot of work. I don't disagree with that. Michelle says yes, it would be no matter what's going on. Some fans expect him to press an automatic button to go 40-0. Those people were just unrealistic because, and I'll tell you, those people were the people that didn't want KP here in the first place. They put these unrealistic expectations over the airwaves, and then our fans, both realistic and unrealistic, ate that up. And then the realistic ones started being like, okay, well, we do have this cloud. We do have our coach walked out on us 85% through the season. Like, there's a lot of stuff that has to be rebuilt there, and it's going to take a while. If y'all are out there thinking, oh man, well we're still going to this year's recruiting class, other than Caleb Glenn, awesome. Curtis Williams Jr. is his name, I believe. Awesome. The rest of this class is going to be filled in with reclasses, commitment flips after the season, not during the season. In grad transfers.
Fun.
This top 10 class or top 5 class y'all expected, that'll be the 24 class. But this year's class, the 23 class, is going to be a makeshift class, but it's going to be higher quality players because there's no cloud, which means no limited. Well, I don't understand why you don't use NIL. Well, he's not been in. First off, he don't like that type of attitude. And second off, we've had this cloud over our head. Courtney Ramey allegedly went to Arizona for $1 million NIL deal.
Good for him.
And asked if we could match. And we're like, well, we can if you don't care if you want to go pro or not. And he was like, all right, I'll go to Arizona. So, like, that's been such, yeah, the show's going off the rails, Honky. I'm sorry. We have one heck of a coaching staff, one of the top in the country. Our program was at the bottom. Our fan base was dead. Now that we're rebuilding, fans, look, we could have won these 3 games by 1 point each, and people now would be like 3-0. So you didn't beat none of them by 10.
Who was it against? But like it wouldn't.
Or beat them by 20. Well, those are bye games.
Should have beat them by 40.
You should have. Robbie says, what I don't understand is these are kids he recruited. Who's in charge? These are kids Chris Mack recruited. The only kids on this roster that Kenny Payne recruited are Brandon Huntley Hatfield, and then the fill-ins. The rest
Fabio.
I think the fill-ins.
Right.
Yes.
Well,
Fabio was a 0 star, and Fabio is going to be great. Not good. Going to be great by the end of this season. But Hersey, Fabio, Aiden McCool, his own son, those are the only players that he brought on here. So building a KP culture, he told us from the beginning, it's bigger than basketball. Yep. If we get to a solid 8-9 man rotation, I think the press changes our season. Absolutely, Allen. West End Wayne, winning cures everything. I hate that he is going through the criticism, but I think he understands it. Y'all, he reads these things on Twitter and he laughs at the haters because he only cares about the good tweets, the support. He don't care about what all these people average Jack 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to do more pressing, son. And it's like, you don't need to tell me how to do my job. I don't know how to do. You go back to. I'll take salt on my fries and shut the hell up. Excuse my language. Kenny Payne is truly a Louisville Cardinal and want to embarrass the jersey or name. Absolutely. Once KP starts landing some ballers, we'll be contenders again. And look, nobody else knows this, and I feel confident and okay since nobody on our staff told us this. Sharing this with you all, but there is a big time player. Now he's kind of like Fabio. He's not played in the States yet and doesn't have a recruiting profile, but he reminds me a lot of Gorgie Zhang senior year Gorgie. That I feel like is going to be our backup if we don't get Miranda. And I've watched some of his film, and it's absolutely.
Speaking of big time players,
big time play. Oh no!
That's my beard brother.
No, he don't get any time.
I'm going it out for you, bro.
But he does use NIL, but we don't want the ones who walk in talking money. Absolutely, I was referring to the Nolan Fisk comment. Oh, my bad. But he does. There's been things that y'all don't know about that's been going on that's NIL related that they're doing just fine with. Our 5-year NCAA investigation was close to the death penalty SMU football got. It was devastating. And Dan, you understand this perfectly. You get it. That's exactly right. We year after year after year, and it felt like it was more than 5. I feel like it was 7 years ago actually that we self-imposed for the hooker stuff. So ever since then we've been under a cloud.
Damian Lee,
oh yeah, he got Devin Ree and Brett. That's what I said. Brandon Huntley, Hatfield, and Devin Ree. He got those, but he got those kids here, and Devin's not playing any minutes right now. Let's see. Jordan says, Mike, we need everyone on board now. We don't need everyone on board just because we are winning.
Right.
Yep. This team is in rebuild mode, but our fans need to rebuild too and be realistic. Love that. You have to play together to press effectively, James says. Easier with length and speed. We do have length, but they don't seem to understand how to use it. They are trying to learn.
Yet.
And as I've told y'all for a couple of weeks now, I believe, this team's going to be a different team in January. Once the conference season starts, they're going to gel. They're going to have some chemistry. But these kids are battling some things that y'all don't even know about. And it's not my business to talk about. And if you all understood it and knew, wouldn't be saying much about it. Matthew Dodson sucks. Greg, even though we're 0-3, I see improvement every game. I'm getting tired of certain media guys. Every tweet is negative. They never tweet about 5-star visits or the improvement from one game to another. Nope, they don't. It is what it is. To physically rebuild is easy compared to repairing and changing mindsets. Bravo. The Yum having the 3 people in it and 2 of them are opposing fans aren't helping either. No, that's true. The only thing I can say about that is that we're going to have to it's everywhere. I mean, wrestling, football, college, pro, the stands aren't getting full because the tickets are so high. So we're like, I know that U of L is never going to be like, all right, y'all, let's just roll back the tickets. We don't want to make as much money.
There's certain places like Alabama football or whatever where there's absolutely nothing else that goes on around their place that's what they save their money for. But, you know, people know we have multiple things that, you know, we can do. And again, like you said, ticket prices are high. Look, I know at my job, I didn't get a raise this year because of, you know, the economy. Well, guess what? Everything else went up but my paycheck. So, I mean, sometimes you have to cut out things like that. You know, people are just going to watch it on the TV instead.
Especially with, I think that's something that got lost in the shovel of the great redeemer, Tom Jurich, coming to town and rebuilding all these facilities. Louisville is a blue-collar town. They always have been. Growing up, you knew the Louisville fans from any other kind of fans because the Louisville fans went to work, come home, watched the games, win or lose, went to work, went to sleep, took their kids to the games, went to sleep, got up the next day and did it all over again. That's not the case anymore. They're not able. I mean, especially when you've got a family of 4 or 5, that you're talking about $300-400 just to go to a football game, or for wrestling or basketball, and it's
and you buy a box of popcorn for $8 now. You know, like you said, family of 4. The ticket prices ain't really even the thing that's the most expensive. You're paying $20-30 for parking. You go in and, you know, you and your kids want something to drink and some popcorn. There's $80 right there.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. You're talking about a $250, $300 trip just for one game. I can't do that.
No, and you're thinking that can happen 10 times a month. No. This basketball team could go 10 deep. I don't understand why folks say we don't have talent. It's not that we don't have talent. It's just this team is not gelled. They're not cohesive yet. But KP told us at ACC Media Days we were about 2 months away from where he wanted us to be on the court. Steve says average honky said they need to refund the fans' donation fees. And hey, if you're not going to be on the show, can you keep it down over there?
You're going to come over and sit next to me.
7 foot tall drink of water. You old Hershey without the almonds looking at. No, I'm just kidding.
He's got almonds.
Oh, you gonna grab a microphone? Nope, just gonna come sit with us. All right, well, it is what it is. Can we name the negative media guys once and for all? No, because I'm not gonna do that. That's gonna add to the negativity. And y'all know who they are. I don't have to say nothing. Cardinal says money is tight with everyone. KP left an incredible position in the NBA to bring back relevance and stability back to Louisville, so I'm sure he doesn't give two.
Shit. I didn't say the word.
About what haters are saying. I'm glad that our gameplay doesn't live and die by the threes this year. Oh, game one it did. Shot about 75 of them. Crazy, unrealistic fans know more than the staff and the media, apparently.
You only paid $9 for a beer there, Tom? You got off cheap, bro.
Average honky. It really is everywhere. The fees are ridiculous. You pay for a $50 ticket and have a $30 fee. Yep. That's why it would have to be great. We get in their pockets. Attendance at sporting events have been going down for years before COVID. COVID's been a huge detractor, too. Y'all got something y'all want to share with the whole class?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ticketmaster and places have been like they said, the $30 fees and everything.
Price of tickets, work schedules not being 9 to 5, no more kids playing sports. It's a lot of factors. Yeah. Allie says, I remember free or $1 football tickets at the convenience store. Well, yeah, that's when we were the Prairie View A&M of NCAA football.
That was old Howard Schnellenberger.
You can do that. My TV has a great picture. No line for the bathroom and beer is not $9. There you go. Jordan says, I feel that our fans pick and choose when they want to be fans. We have been through so much as fans. Yet we can never, we are never positive. Absolutely. Great points. I appreciate that. I'm going to ask Dalton this first because he's been listening to me talk for about 15 minutes. I appreciate his patience.
He's not been listening.
No, he's not been listening. Hey, Dalton, unmute. Okay, you got.
I've been off mute.
Hey, Covoid.
Hey, Covoid, show people
that
you can save money and just watch on TV.
Typos.
Look, for me, I have not been to as many games the last 3 years because of COVID. I'm trying to protect my mom, trying to protect my dad, trying to protect my friends, and I've just not done it. And it's not that I don't want to be there. It's I want to protect my family more. So when people tell me that they're not, you kind of help. Oh, somebody on Twitter. Okay, let's go to Twitter. That'll be fun.
I just don't like big crowds. Drunk people, big crowds. Large man. You know what happens when you get big drunk crowds and large men? People become Mighty Mouse. They want to pick a fight. Doesn't end well for them.
Okay.
I stay home.
Apparently, I'm the one that helped create the crazy expectations, says Brad Fox. Yeah. Good old Mount Washington, Kentucky chiming in. I'm the one that created
He's a Cats fan.
I got zero recognition as being the number one favorite on the call. Come on, Erica. For sure. All right. I'm not going to listen to that. I'm not going to respond to that tweet either because I never create. I said we'd win 20 games this year. That's crazy expectations.
I still feel like we will.
That's crazy expectations. Okay. It is what it is. There are some
we'll win 20 games and be a bubble team. That's crazy expectations.
There were some media people that hyped this up. I said I wanted Kenny Payne badly. So let's not get that twisted. I was the one that said get Kenny here so this thing can heal faster. I didn't say it was going to heal to your acceptance. I didn't say it was going to heal to your expectations. I said that he was the best person to come here. So don't ever get my words twisted. I never added anything to any crazy expectations. So, yeah, no, you're not in trouble, Terry. Calm down. Uncle Larry says, I hope KP is delegating responsibility and not trying to do too much by himself. Yep. Breathe in, breathe out.
Poking the bear ain't good for you.
Walter, I don't expect him to play this week. I'm not sure he's going to play next week. Steve says, I've been to all the football games and renewed basketball tickets this year after giving them up. And, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to shame anybody for going, just like I don't want anybody to shame me for not going because I have family to protect.
That's why we say, if you can make it, go. If you know, that means, you know, if you don't mind being with crowds, if you can afford it, things like that. You know, again, like he said, if nobody's going to shame anybody for not being at the game for any reason.
I'm also not going to let somebody tell me I added to the crazy expectations when I didn't.
You know what? And here's the other thing people got to realize.
People feel real. I'm sorry, Joey. People feel real comfortable trying to put words in my mouth the last couple of weeks, and I don't appreciate that at all. I'm one of the nicest, kindest, caring, sharing people out there on the media.
Yeah.
If you want to say something nasty about me,
come find me.
My address is out on the front door. I'll take a picture of it later. You come say something to me. But to sit here and lie on me, that's ridiculous. I kidnapped him, Michelle, and made him have expectations. I have so much control. No, I didn't. All I said, and I know you're not saying that. Go ahead, put that T. Join the conversation.
Here's
Because
the
I would
thing.
like for you to tell them that I'm not that type of a person.
Here's the thing. So
I know y'all know I'm not that type of person.
going back to before the season and everything, leading up, once we got Kenny, yes, certain things were told to you. You said, "Hey guys, this is what I'm here." You didn't say this is fact. And again, things can change with kids in choosing colleges, and they did. Things changed. At the time that the information was given, it was 100% factual. Then things change. People don't realize
these
that
people trying to fight with me are people who have never had a scoop. They don't know any of the coaching staff, never known a player. I mean, y'all don't know that T almost committed to another school before he came to Louisville, and I could have got on the airwaves then and been like, "Oh, T's
he's counting out
multiple schools, right?"
So did I.
All right,
But I went to the School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, you did.
Only
thing.
Never mind.
The only thing I said, Sean's never been to that school.
Oh, he's never knocked anything hard. Well, maybe.
Unbelievable. Only thing I said is KP would turn this around the quickest. I still believe that. You're not going to change my mind about that. I know what's in the works. I know what's going on. So let the people seem ignorant on Twitter that want to be ignorant.
3 games.
We are 0-3. So I'm going to transition to Dalton. Dalton, wake up. We're at 0-3 right now. Are you worried about the future of this program, or have you bought into the long-term rebuild?
I mean, I said it once. I'll say it again. I have a lot of faith in Kenny Payne. Is the start ideal? Obviously not. I mean,
No.
I don't care what you thought before the season. If you try to tell me now that 3 weeks ago you thought Louisville was going to lose their first 3 games of the season, you're a liar.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No one thought you were going to lose the first 3 games. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's frustrating as can be, when you factor in everything that has gone over the past couple of years. We just all want Louisville basketball to be good again, but it makes me laugh at how people are already calling for Kenny Payne's job 3 games into his tenure. And
they're stupid.
I just don't know. I don't know how to have a conversation with that type of overreaction. I mean, look, I get it. It's frustrating, but man, things weren't necessarily great with the program when he took over. So, I mean, it's going to take some time. I mean, we gave Chris Mack time, and he didn't inherit a good situation. We have to give Kenny Payne, a good amount of time as well. I mean, I'm not saying that – nothing is set in stone. At the end of the day, is he going to be the guy to bring us to the promised land? Perhaps. Perhaps not. I mean, we don't know that. But I don't think that you can make that call right now. So, to answer your question, yeah, I think that he's the guy for the future. And I just think it's funny that we're sitting here having to have these conversations 3 games into the season.
It really is. And to me, it's this. I want everybody to have their own opinion. I'm not going to force my opinion on anybody. But I know KP. I know him as a person. I've known him for a very long time. I may not have always liked where his allegiances lied in college, but I've always respected him. He's always been good to me, good to us. So just knowing him on a personal level, I know he's the guy for the long-term rebuild. Just because we're not turning this around as fast as y'all want, I apologize for that. I mean, I don't need to apologize for it, but like he's been very transparent. Everything he said has come into fruition so far. And again, these kids are bad. Like last year traumatized them. And I know, well, they're basketball players. Shut up and dribble. Well, these are still real people. They're still real people they're kids. Well, they're 19, 20, 21. They're not kids anymore. Well, a lot of them have never been out on their own. I mean, you can attest to this. Even when you were at U of L, senior year at U of L, you'd never been out on your own before, had you?
I agree.
Hey, that's what you're going to
get. We got Shaq in here? That's what it sounded like.
Did you just have a Shaq-a-roni before you got here?
Yeah, it was good. I sure did.
I sure did. All right, let me catch up on the text line. We'll get back to what we were talking about. So I kidnapped. Oh, I already read that one. Yeah, absolutely did not force anybody into anything. Love you too, Erica. No doubt, Jeremy, and I get why some people don't like going to the game after COVID. Drink all you want, watch all the different games. No $30 8-ounce bag of Lay's. Jeremy's a great dude. I appreciate that. I cannot believe how toxic this has all become. Me neither, John. Cardinal says the Maui trip is much needed for the team. Get away from out of town. So sorry, buddy. A grown man saying that you have made him have high expectations. Intense therapy is needed. I didn't know I had that big of a pull on people. I didn't know I had that much. What's the word I'm looking for? No, I didn't. Effect. I didn't know I had that much effect on people that I could say Kenny Payne's the right guy for the job, and that made him get red, mad, and nude on Twitter. What, T? It looks like you got something on your mind. Go ahead, preach.
I just want to say for the record, it's crazy they could say that someone who has an inside source could create so much high expectation for someone, but I truly believe the biggest pro and con in our last, I'd say 10-year tenure, the biggest thing that's spoiled us, to be quite honest, is what, 2011 to 2013. That's what made us have high expectations. It's not the people who have the inside job or the inside scoops on things. It's your job to do that. We pay attention to those things, but we don't pay attention to the things we see. We were all along for that journey, man. So that got us excited for things like that, man. But to see all of the, the buying into too much of the inside scoops, just like Joey said, things can change, man, in a heartbeat. Heck, things can change within a minute. But we hang our hats on this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's just like earlier when we said there's no way you're going to make it here in time for the show. And then you walked in. Things change that quickly. Go Cards, keep the faith. It's a process. Give it a chance. Don't worry about them, Jeremy. I'm not really worried about it. I just get tired of people thinking that they want to meet me on the corner of F around and find out, because I'm not that one. I've had to be very, very calm and mild these last before I started CSZ. Was I not a completely different person as far as people smarting
Loose
off
cannon.
Oh gosh, short whip.
This tamed me. This really tamed me a lot. And I do this out of respect and love for all of you all. Yes, Michelle says they say that stuff because they get behind the keyboard and grow some balls. Big old bounce, like the ones they drew on Higgy's house. I pray the players and possibly future players aren't. Listen, I was told by 2 people today. I'm not going to name their names, that are up there at the facilities, that they are getting an alarming amount of notifications from recruits and their parents that are reading y'all's. No, not my fault, not my listeners, because y'all are on the good side, but from the negative side, that the nastiness that they're spreading, they're seeing. We're in a world where anything you say on Twitter or on it's instantly seen. So last time we went 0-3 was 36 years ago. Was my math wrong, or was that in 86? That was 86-87 season, the season after the national championship. You don't just ignore the toxic people. I try to ignore all the ignorance, man, because at the end of the day, there's more things important in life than these people talking about they know KP and he's not doing a good job when they have no idea what he's doing. I mean, we all have wives or kids or jobs that we love and, that are more important, or family members. He's lost his dad. Me and Joey's lost our dad. That's way more important than the negativity that we see on social media. Yeah, Walter, that's exactly what I said earlier. 0-3 in 1980-81, and we made the tournament from them. Well, we also went 0-3. Last time we went 0-3 was the 86-87 season. Dang, Jocelyn, truth. Yeah, I agree with Jeremy. I feel like you cannot have rational conversations with people anymore. I put rational in there because that's the way I feel. Can't have rational conversations with people anymore. Our fans are acting entitled and turning toxic. John says, have I missed anything? Is the season over? Cardinal says, Coach P loves his school in the city. By the way, appreciate all y'all chiming in. That makes my job easier. I don't have to talk as much, even though I still have to read y'all stuff. Let him build this team. He does love the school in the city. Chris Mack flat out quit on the team and gave up on these guys, and that's hard for the players to get over. Fabian, absolutely. James says, I moved down to Central Florida from Kentucky, and you guys are my eyes and ears there. Well, we appreciate that. Only thing I get to do down here is remind UCF fans who gave them their only home loss. Preach, and I appreciate that. The university gave up on Matt because you don't suspend your head coach for the first 6 games of the season. I don't disagree with that either. When we get momentum going, the attendance is going to be solid. It's not as bad as the picture show. Cody, I agree with that. I've seen a bunch of pictures taken 15 minutes before tip-off and then watch the game, and it's a lot better. Football and basketball. They just want to show the negativity. Average Honky says, we own UCF and the AAC. Allie says, I see a lot of BS from You Can't fans trolling. Oh, the Smurf turds. Robbie says, fans forget what it takes to build a team. It took Ricky P a few years, but 05, we were all on board. That 05 team, man, that was something special. That was probably one of my most favorite runs in Louisville college basketball history. But that's because I got to be along for the ride there, because that was our guy Terrance's first year at Louisville, the 04. Joey, growing up, would you ever thought it would have took a Farley to bring us back to the Final Four? You know, one that accepts the name and keeps it at all.
One that pronounces the name the way it's spelled.
Dalton has left the building.
Yeah.
We appreciate you for coming in tonight, Dalton.
He fell asleep.
No, he didn't. I'm sure he sent a message. I just can't read it while I'm hosting a show. We'll be okay. It's called Building a Program, starting from the ground up, not top to bottom. They're learning how to play in the system. We cannot hide you. Max system, they could take a play off in this one. You get busted. This is a super complex one like they run in the NBA. Uncle Larry says the true Cardinal fans will be around for the good, bad, and the ugly. What about Jerry Eve's smirky photo at the last game? I don't know who that is. Michelle says Mac had a lot going on with his dad, too. Trust me, that does take a bigger toll on you than you may think. Who else beside Ellis starts to take over the season? I think Mike James. I think Jalen Withers. I've really liked what I've seen out of Mike James so far, and just knowing him on a personal level, too. It's been really I've been really proud of the strides he's taken. He's backing up L. L's been a force. He's been averaging like 20. He had 29 in the last two games. I forgot what he had the first game. It was 20 something.
I thought he scored 30 one game. Like,
it would have had to been the first game because he had 29.
It might have been
the past two. So I think Mike James being there to knock down some shots when Ellis was tired or not been out or was out of the game. Hersey Miller has been stepping up a little bit. Brandon Huntley Hatfield will be the next one stepping up, getting it. Allie says. Honky says, I think Nilly really had it out for Tyree and Mac. That's true. I believe she wanted to shift the focus to mostly academics and not athletics. Also true. I believe Arkansas will help bring the dog out in our team in Hawaii. Dalton says he'll be right back. He's got the bubble guts. I don't know if you wanted me to say that on the air, but let's go.
Him got poop.
He got poop.
Him got the poopies.
You're getting to be a big boy.
Sorry.
He's about to go drop a big boy.
I don't know if y'all on the live stream can hear my special effects, but I know that once they play it back on if you listen to it if sometimes y'all hear an awkward pause in their silence, it's because I've instituted a sound effect in the back that y'all may or may not be able to hear unless y'all are listening to this post show. So I apologize for that. I do believe Arkansas will help bring the dog out in our team in Hawaii. And when she found out she wasn't getting her way, she left Penn State. Yep. BHH will get it, Michelle says. I think I saw sparks of Old Sydney in the second half. Agreed. Hey, neighbor. I thought BHH looked really good. What's going on, Rick? Cardinal says the team will be fine. Okay, real question. When will Sid show up? I think you're starting to see him show up a little bit. Still scoreless in the second half. U of L versus Western Michigan in the playoffs. Curry will show up against Arkansas. T, you're gonna have to remind me on this. Did you all went to Hawaii one year, didn't you?
My freshman year.
And okay, well, perfect segue here. So we're heading out to the Maui Classic tomorrow afternoon. What was that? So for a team that people are saying isn't gelling yet, or they don't completely have team chemistry, I've heard a couple of people say, well, it's good for them to get out and get away from home and be able to bond and stuff together. Did you experience that in y'all's trip to Maui?
Oh, without a doubt. But I think
speaking of the microphone, sir,
with Coach P, it was just a different kind of animal as well, man. I got to be in the war room with that man, and he's a different kind of animal as far as preparation is concerned. Don't forget, we didn't go initially to the Maui Invitational. We actually went to 3 different islands before we even touched the Maui Invitational. We played 3 teams. three professional Hawaiian teams before we even touched the Big Island. We went to Malachi and a couple of other ones, man.
Bless you.
So we was able to prep ourselves for our surroundings, our environment, things like that. Just get a little bit of confidence boost. We was able to do a lot of team building type things as well. So yeah, man, being able to isolate the team away from all the distractions apparently that we're hearing right now. Being able to, separate yourself from that kind of stuff is everything to a team. So,
well, it's not T. Will Dre type distractions. We know how big of distractions they were their freshman year. But so do you feel like it made a difference in the way y'all played together after? I know Hawaii was like 2 weeks into the season, but do you feel like y'all played better together after that, or was it just kind of like the same?
I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that we, this team has as many dogs as that my freshman year team had, but
fair.
I mean, I think that ring speaks for itself. I mean, we started out a little sloppy, a little hesitant within the first round of the Maui Invitational. I believe we lost to Iowa. And then after that, we picked up momentum.
All right, Shaq.
and we came together.
We picked up momentum.
And that's been everything, I swear.
Shaq Fu on here with it. Chris Curry, not Chris Current, says, I don't believe in karma, but could we be serving a 6-game suspension from winning for putting Mac in timeout last year? No. What? No. We had the Buffalo Blizzard this weekend. It's just some cold air.
Gosh dang, dude. They're talking about 6 feet of snow in Buffalo.
Yeah. They moved the football game to the Ford Field.
Yeah, they were talking about, they were listing the heights of their running backs, and they were like, think about that. You wouldn't be able to see their head.
Fabian says, I get the feeling Curry has some personal stuff going on. A lot of them do. James says, Curry is the biggest mystery to me. Worried about him. I am too, but he'll be okay. How big is the doghouse that Rhea is in? It's as tall as T is. Him and Fabio just need to do the stuff that basketball. How hard was that for you as a freshman to get in the swing? I'm picking your brain on all this stuff. To get in the swing of going to classes and treatments. I mean, there was a time, though, that they instituted the Cardinal rule, which meant what? If 15 minutes early. So if you were 14 minutes early for practice, you were late. Did it take a lot? I guess my question is, did it take a lot of getting used to for you to go to your treatments, to go to classes, to go to tutoring?
I would honestly say, from the bottom of my heart, there's been a lot of things that have been hard in my life. Seriously. Wink.
Can't stand him.
But to be quite honest, man, that transition from PRP to Louisville, my freshman year, was the hardest transition I ever had to make in my life. And that's why I'm so patient with all the guys that are coming in from NAIAs, Power 5 NAIAs, freshmen. It's all the same. It's all the same. They're just now getting used to a place that's asking them to do more than what they've been in the past. They're not on their own anymore. They have people that are just constantly up their rear end saying, hey, you need to do this. Hey, you need to do this. But I feel like with this, it's like they're used to the culture of a different place. I think that's the one thing that we've been constantly talking about with this. Well, Kenny needs to build the team. Kenny needs to build one thing and one thing only. And that's what he's trying to do now. He's trying to build culture. That's the one thing that nobody's even hit on right now. Even with the fans that are talking about this, they're talking about teams and organizations. And they need to build culture, and that's what Kenny's doing.
Well, a lot of these kids, like you're saying, they're coming from high schools or whatever. They were used to being catered to.
Yeah.
Right? They were used to being the big man on campus, the man on campus.
Yeah.
Now, look, you're at Louisville.
Yeah.
You ain't hit the button. You ain't, son.
No more.
No.
There was a lot of getting. I mean,
So that
thank
takes a lot
God.
to get used to.
Thank God there was no social media tease year, because he got kicked off the team 17 times.
Oh, man.
And we almost ended up at UCLA a couple times.
We talked to Vince Taylor more times that freshman year than I care to admit.
Vince Taylor should have been my dad.
Oh, my gosh.
Speeches he gave me that year, man.
Do you remember?
We got speeches. What are you talking about?
Do you remember the one time me, you, and Teresa were driving down to the country to see Mamaw, and I got a phone call. I'm looking at the phone kind of weird. It was like 852 number. That's U of L, because that's what it was back then. Anything 852 was U of L. And I picked up the phone. I was like, hello? Jeremy, Vince Taylor here, University of Louisville men's basketball. How are you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. What's going on? Well, we're looking for Terrance.
Ain't seen him.
And we're looking for Terrance, and he's not here. And we know that, he's like your little brother. So can you get me in touch with him? And with a straight face, I go, well, I'm heading down to my grandma's right now. I'm in E-Town. But as soon as I get back, I'll let him know, and I'll have him give you a call. He said, great. By the way, look in your back seat and tell him to call me now. Thanks. Click. I'm like, what the?
The Illuminati.
The GPS, man, they put inside of us.
That's why a lot of that stuff they said about, I was so defensive about a lot of that stuff they said about Rick not know. Rick knew. I remember one time you farted a little too loud, and Rick called and was like, hey, Farley, treadmills. Farley, treadmills. You can't fart that loud in the dorms. You can't. YouTube is good. Okay.
I'm going to tell my dad.
Walter says a lot of our top football prospects. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Michelle says, I mean, even with all the stuff going on with Mac, we ended up being the Baja Bullies for sure.
I still got those Las Vegas Invitational or whatever, that tracksuit that you got. I still got it at the house.
Geez.
They're about 4 inches too tall for my legs, but it is what it is.
Happy to see DeAndre Moore visiting this weekend. Cardinal said, I think so too. Hey, I wear that one Adidas tracksuit that you gave me a lot. Robbie said, what's up, Terrance Farley?
Yo. Sure hope Dalton hasn't drowned in there.
Honky says, Snow is the same height as me. Insane. I keep saying we forget how young Rhea and Fabio are. They aren't mature yet. Menace Mike went to the Ridge as well. Great point, Jocelyn. Rick says, I remember seeing T. Farley at BJ's on Dixie Highway back in the day. Hey, we was all there, Rick. We was all there. Not with Rick as a coach. Sure, Dalton hadn't drowned. Oh, is that what you were reading?
But yeah.
Okay. I guess he did. James says, culture is winning on the court in the classroom, therefore in life after basketball. That is what KP can give them, but it takes work and time. Chris, if Louisville and FSU end up as the two ACC teams that no one wants to play. Cardon says this podcast is like a chill therapy session. And that's really what I wanted it to be. I know we've gone a lot longer than we normally go. I know Teresa's mad at me now because I told her
I should get over it.
I would call her. It is what it is. But I appreciate y'all tuning into the show. I really do. I didn't really get to ask Dalton the rest of the questions, but the nastiness on Twitter was my last regular point. Let's get into rapid fire. The number 4 volleyball team defeated North Carolina in a sweep, and number 13 Georgia Tech in a reverse sweep, meaning they lost the first 2 games, but then
saw that come
won the last 3. Saw that one. That was awesome. They face number 7 Pittsburgh tomorrow night for senior night. Thanks, Higgy, for the notes. That's Pittsburgh. Men's soccer is playing now. We already said that. U of L Athletics announced a 92% graduation rate in the latest GSI report. Congratulations to those young men and women up there. Field hockey fell to Penn State 5-0 in the first round of the tournament. That's harsh. So we got a really good field hockey team. Swimming and diving, both teams lead after their first day of the Purdue Invitational. The women are heading to the Bahamas as the men are heading to Maui. So a great little in-season tournament for both. And make sure y'all go check out all the photo galleries. I have those pinned to the top of cardinalsportszone.com, the place it all began. Check out their work. And if you don't check them out there, go to all the players' Instagrams. Right now, Sydney Curry, Brandon Huntley Hatfield, L. Ellis, Mike James, all the starters, and the football players all have our pictures up there. So take a look. You'll either see them on the website or see them on your favorite social media. Or on our sponsors' social medias. Speaking of sponsors, shout out to all of our fine sponsors: Fitness Market, Shack in the Back Barbecue, 4Peg Smokehouse and Bar, and Derby City Lawn and Landscaping. And we're working on more. If you'd like to sponsor the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, reach out to me. I'll send you a packet and we'll get things done. On social media, you can find us at all the social media avenues that are listed underneath Joey's goatee.
Oh, no, I got a full-on beard going, bro.
Oh, gosh.
Nice.
Oh, Lord.
Nice.
YouTube. Okay, underneath his
man beard.
Duck Dynasty beard, you can see where you can follow us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you want to sponsor the podcast or donate to the podcast, underneath my white tee, I don't know what you call it, but under my beard, you can donate to us on Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal there. You can find the show on all the podcast avenues: Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, and iHeart. And over 125 more. Hit the subscribe button, the follow button, the stalk button, whatever it is, hit
Like.
that button, the like button, so you can get notified when we do go live, or you can get notified when these podcasts hit the airwaves. If you haven't listened to all the prior episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, go back and check them all out. Go to cardinalsportszone.com, hit the podcast tab, hit the drop-down menu, go to CSZ Podcast, and you can listen to them all there. Check out our exclusives. Also there, we've got some great writers. Dalton, who's fallen into his poopy toilet, does a lot of great writing. Jeff Nunn, Justin Kruger, just to name a few. Our photographers are
unmatched.
We just in sheer quantity, we got Jeff Nunn, TJ Barr, Justin Kruger, just doing the Lord's work out there, just dominating. They're all over everybody's social media. Shout out to everybody out there sharing the podcast. We appreciate you and love you. Shout out to our guys, Marcus Maven and Steve Rummage, doing the Lord's work over there on ESPN 93.9 The Ville from 10 to noon, Monday through Friday. T, you're a frequent visitor of that show.
Oh, I love that show.
You love it?
I love that show.
You do?
I love your podcast too.
You love my podcast. I appreciate you lying. I'm joking, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Any last words before we get out? We're going to catch up on the chat line first. Let's do that.
Well, one of my last lines was going to be to Steve's comment. No, it's not No Shave November. I started this back in late October, second to last week of October. And I think I'm going to let it grow at least until we roll the clocks forward in March. So I'm going to see how it can go. But we'll see then. If I like it, I might keep it.
I tried that one time and it just got on my.
Hey man, the ladies love it, dude.
Take it off.
I've went and got some of
Teresa almost left me because I did that.
Yeah,
so
well, then you died at the one time.
Oh, they take it personal.
Yeah, they did. John wants to know what's up with AJ Johnson. I've addressed that earlier in the show. Go back and check that out. Hit the like button. Michelle says. Brian says, one step at a time. Good things will come from the program soon. Mantis Mike says, you're the man, Farley. Louisville loves you, bro. Aaron says, hit subscribe. Cardinal says, Louisville Rugby, unsanctioned, won the MAC championship. Congratulations. Average Honky, does Sack get an extension if he wins these last 3 games? Absolutely. But I don't think he's going to win the last 3 games. I think we win one of these last 3. To be honest, I don't know that we're going to get Malik back for the regular season. The rugby playoffs are this weekend. No, okay, you said that. Louisville ice hockey about to get fired up too. Cool, love the show. Or win a basketball game, Steve says.
Oh, no, because we're going to win the next one, and I'm not shaving it off then.
Allie Jack says that they have not shaved their beard off since they were 16.
Well, it depends. How old are you now, Allie Jack? I mean, that could be a long time or it could be a few years. I don't know.
All right.
But I'm with Jeremy. The reason why I've really never grown one before is because it gets to that one point and it starts itching, and I can't take it. But I went and I got some like beard oils and some beard shampoo and conditioner.
Allie Jack is 67.
Oh, well then, my man, 51 years of beard. That's a lot, bro. That beard's been through a lot.
Well, to be fair, we can't see the icon. That
Yeah, I can't tell.
It could be a female that's not shaved their beard since they were 16.
It's not
like that crazy aunt you got that's got the beard, but then wants to rub hers up against yours.
Those 3 like wild hairs on the upper lip.
Yeah, for sure. T, any last words for you, sir? Any words of encouragement?
Words of encouragement. It reminds me almost of my my sophomore year when we went to the NIT. I want the 15,000 back. I don't know about you guys, but I want the 15,000 back. And what I mean by the 15,000, I remember that 15,000 that stayed strong and loyal to us, even though our season didn't go as planned. We had high expectations coming from a Final Four and going straight to NIT, but there were 15,000 strong there in Freedom Hall rocking that thing out.
Yep.
I want the 15,000 back. Whoever's going to ride with us, whoever's going to ride with the Cardinal faithful, please be with us. Whoever's not, get off the train now because the train's coming. You better believe that. But
okay, Vince.
15,000. So.
A little bit of Vance Bedford. I said Vince. Vance Bedford's in the house too with us. Not just,
don't forget, the University of Maryland still trash.
Not the state, but
they suck.
The university,
right? And get your fat spayed or neutered,
which we beat in the Bahamas.
Yeah,
nice
to prove that.
Well, I mean that's a given.
The Pain Train. Aaron says. Cardinal says that Allie Jack looks like ZZ Top. Dalton says, "Holy blank! Y'all ever had to crap?" So what?
No, read it out now.
I've got to. Hold on. Let me get over here to where I can read it. So because those of y'all that have been worried and asking about Dalton's well-being, holy blank. Y'all ever had to blank and it's so bad that you just take your clothes off?
Get right in the shower.
My God. We knew a guy like that showered every time they pooped.
Yeah, but he used the same towel for 6 months.
Fair.
Just kept folding it.
KP Eric going to be fired. Don't doubt it. Allie says, I trim it, just hate shave. Hey, that's good that y'all have a show that y'all go on together. Aaron says, the pain train. Okay, it is what. All right, my final words are this. Just be patient. Just be loving. We're never going to get the kind of people here that y'all want if you keep, not my people, but
complain in private. Just don't put it on Twitter where everybody can see.
Don't add them. Can you imagine if well, first off, Rick wouldn't let none of the players have social media. Rick didn't have it at the time, so
maybe that's one thing Kenny needs to do during the season.
They just get a burner account. Yeah, it is what it is.
KD.
Allie says I wrote LaGrange. Cardinal's laughing and stuff. But yeah, just be kind, be patient. Sean's not getting out.
No.
He's not getting.
He's laying down.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's not out getting laid. He's out. He had to work late. That's why he's not here. I don't want to spread any false narratives here, but hour and 50-minute show, guys. This is one of the longest we've had in a long time. We appreciate you all. Stay kind out there. Don't even, if you see people out there being negative, don't even run in the tracks, man. Just let them be stupid. We'll take our time. They'll be back on the train before it's too long. It is what it is. The true ones care. TF. That's you. You're TF. All right. Thanks again for all the support. We love you all. And until next time, this has been the Cardinal Sports Zone Podcast.
Pay attention.
Thank you, Steve. Potentially, we may all be off Twitter soon. Yes. So, if for some reason they eliminate Twitter, make sure you all follow the show on YouTube so we can still all interact. I appreciate y'all. Much needed show for sure, Don. Love y'all. Again, we're out. We're going to do that thing where we pretend like we're like newscasters. They're like talking, but they're not really. Our birds do have teeth.